Hi, how many online certification courses have you done? How many logos and certificates do you have on your resume? Is it half page or one page? Imagine we have the same conversation with people who come to Career Arth every day. We are trying to help them resolve this paradox between getting a job and doing well in their careers versus collecting certificates. Sometimes I even jokingly say that collecting certificates is also a full-time career. Now that's a joke. Welcome to Career Arth. I'm Tushar Jarohar and I'm the founder of Career Arth. We are on a mission to help people find clarity in their careers. So let us deep dive into this problem of online certification. Whether you should have it on your resume or not have it on your resume. So the first thing to understand is the connection that a certificate helps you build. If you are doing an online course, you should ask yourself, will this course help me move towards my career aspiration and career goals? How does this particular certificate enable me to do that? For example, a data scientist went ahead and did a course on art appreciation. A beautiful course, by the way. But if it is not seen in context, people would wonder, why is this person trying to talk about art appreciation when he's sitting for an interview on data engineering and data science? Now, one way he could have explained that is by saying that data science is also a form of art. You're playing with numbers, you're making a lot of judgment calls. And appreciating art is something similar where not everybody appreciates the art or not everybody looks at it from the same lens. Just like everybody doesn't look at data from the same lens. But would he not be better off keeping that certificate off his resume if he's a mid-career professional who is trying to get a job and who showcases that his key capability is in data science, but he does a certification in art? Now that can go in the hobbies section, but then hobbies are not meant for certification courses. They are meant to showcase your interest in things other than work. So the most important thing to ask yourself is, does this certificate make sense? Now, if you were doing data science, I would suggest that you would do a certificate in AI or enterprise AI. If you are doing finance, it would be nice to get a certificate in financial modeling and try to get deep down into modeling and equity research related work. If you're going to do marketing, then maybe a digital marketing certificate with a live project would help. And we'll talk about projects towards the end of this video. Give me a few minutes. So the first important thing to understand is that you need to form connection. Connection between your job aspiration, and the certificate. The next important thing is recognition. Doing these certificate courses from anywhere and everywhere will not help. In today's day and age, you have got online courses dime a dozen. Every company has some form of certification course available. However, what is the biggest problem with these courses? These online courses may not have a tangible assessment component. By assessment, I mean that you actually write an exam, do a project, and somebody evaluates you and gives you feedback. Somebody tells you that this financial modeling project doesn't work because it lacks A, B, C, and D things. Somebody evaluates your work in the data science space and says that, look, this logistic regression model has a problem. Or somebody looks at your AI in the enterprise and says that how agentic AI is not going to work in this particular framework. Somebody to help you better assimilate and understand the knowledge rather than just get a certificate which will only go to decorate your resume. The next important thing to understand is that recognition also comes from well-established institutions. A lot of people ask us this question, मुझे ये डिग्री कहाँ से करना है, मुझे ये सर्टिफिकेट ऑनलाइन कहाँ से करना है? Look around you. There are well-recognized institutions who specialize in teaching, helping people learn, and helping them become better at what they do, rather than skilling them, upskilling them. More than 70% of the recruiters in a recent skills survey said that they only look at certificates which come from well-recognized institutions. where there is a proper assessment criteria. It's not like you submit a deck and a few minutes later you get your certificate. They want somebody to assess the deck, see what's right and wrong, and then decide whether you are ready for a certificate or not. The third important thing after connection and recognition is evidence. You need to be able to demonstrate that you have actually mastered the content. For example, I often ask people in the data science interviews that a person is going from A to B at 5 kilometers per hour and from B to A at 7 kilometers per hour. What is the average speed? Most people will tell me that the average speed is 6 kilometers per hour because it is 5 plus 7, which is 12, and 12 divided by 2 is 6 kilometers per hour. Unfortunately, the answer is not right. I leave you to figure out the right answer. The problem is quite simple. But then back to the question, does this person have evidence of learning? Has this person been able to master the content? That becomes a questionable problem. The next thing here is depth. And depth you will only get through hands-on experience. If you're working in manufacturing, go build something. If you're working in financial modeling or finance, go do some research work, create an equity research project or fixed income research project. Try and make some real investments. If you're working on data science, work with a company and get data to do and work on data and to show tangible results. That is what shows depth. In today's day and age, your exams have limited value. Recruiters are again and again looking for depth. And how will depth come if you don't do projects, if you don't do live projects? You have to be able to do these projects and demonstrate your ability to solve problems from a critical lens and not just do it to get a grade or a certificate. And that is what recruiters look at. So once again, recruiters are looking at credibility, which is established through the connection between what you are doing and what you want to do and how the certificate helps you get there. They are looking at recognition of these certificates. Are they relevant? Are they useful? Is it being done from a proper place? The third thing they're looking for is evidence. Do you really have the skills that you say you have attained through these certificates? And the last thing they're looking for is depth. How did we assess you, or how were you assessed on the depth? Did you just take an online exam, or did you actually do projects to demonstrate that you actually know the material for which you have the certificate? So if you are able to showcase these 4 things through an online certificate, then keep it, then it adds value. But if you are not able to show these 4 things, connection, recognition, evidence, and depth, then it's best not to put it there, because the only thing the certificate is doing is it is decorating your resume or making it long, which doesn't serve any purpose. As always, I have left the CRED framework at the end of this video. Take the CRED framework and map it to your resume and see if it works well for you. I hope you're enjoying Career Arth, and we are really happy to see you here. I'm assuming you've already subscribed to us, and we shall continue to be in touch. As I often say, if you have clarity, you will have growth. If you have growth, you will have career. ये हमारा आपसे वादा है. See you soon.